What's going on, people? Welcome to the player ratings. We're here at Hotel Football in heaven or hell right now, as it feels. Maybe not as bad as hell, but it's not. It hasn't been great today. Obviously, 2 points dropped, and it's absolutely freezing up here. Even though the heating's on, up here at the top of Hotel Football. In the summer, it's beautiful with the backdrop of Old Trafford behind us, but right now, it is cold. But let's get straight into the player ratings, man. Miles, start with you. David De Gea.
Yeah, the only thing David De Gea had to do in the game was to get a connection onto the ball with a punch, and he did that miserably. I was hearing, obviously filming the fan cams, people saying what they thought about De Gea doing that, but obviously he got injured in the very first minute, and I feel like that's kind of what made him a bit tentative to kind of put himself out there, but he should have done so much better. It was like the one job he had to do. So I just give him a standard 5. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, man. I'm not buying into this here that he got fouled by Calvert-Lewin. It wasn't even. It was merely a foul. He almost, kind of shrugged him off. It wasn't a foul.
Checked it as well.
You know what I mean? People saying the VAR's joke and all that. He should have done better. And that for me was like the old David De Gea, just trying to punch. He does that a lot, And I always say he's not very commanding in the box where he never grabs it like Alisson. He just almost punches it in the air and just hits and hopes.
If you're going to come far like that for the ball or choose to run off, you got to clear out everyone.
Or tell your defenders, I'm not coming for it, you go get it. You know what I mean? So that was poor for me, and then obviously that led to the goal. For me, standard 5, mate.
Bissaka.
Mate, man of the match.
Solid,
he gets a number 8 for me. He absolutely man of the match. If you see that amount of time, Richarlison, you know what it was? I said to him, Richarlison, go do something then. Go do something. Again, it's like,
He's not going to get past.
He times it very well.
Even in the box. Like, I was like, he done 2 in the box in like a row. I was like, don't go sliding in, Bissaka. Just stay on your feet. You know what Richarlison wants with? No, nothing. No change.
Nothing, mate. Not getting past. And he gets in at the right moment. And
what about going forward, though?
Going forward, you know what it was?
I don't think he was as bad as people were saying today, but he still does need to improve.
Then again, he gave him 2 balls and there was no one in the box.
Exactly.
So where's the question lie there?
Yeah.
So for me, 8. But he was, for me, the only shining light today. 8 for me.
And Greenwood.
The only shining light defensively, but he doesn't get an 8 for me. He gets a 7. His defensive duties, obviously, there's no one better at right back to do that. But he's still attacking is not great. And I know you're saying there wasn't anyone in the box to receive his crosses, but his crosses were not great. And a couple of them were on the floor crosses that kind of didn't beat the first man or second man or whatever. So he really needs to work on that side of things, because the ball is going out to him a lot, and I feel like he's the one who, if he puts in some good crosses, in, and at least Martial can try and go for it or something, then it'll make us a bit more dangerous. So for that, I give him a 7.
There was one that he dinked, and Martial kind of just missed it, and then it went to someone else at the back post. That was a decent one, but he gets into very good positions. We want to see a bit more quality. Lindelof.
Yeah, boy. I mean, one of the shakiest games he's had for a while. For the first kind of like 20, I thought, okay, no, he was doing all right. Yeah, I thought he did
a
well.
good ball through to Rashford as well.
That ball was insane. That ball was insane. One of like the first ball, and then McTominay did the 2 other really sick balls. Yeah. But so I thought at first, he was doing, all right. But as the game wore on, you could see that Everton were really like, targeting him. Maguire was a bit more solid, but. I mean, and the own goal, I don't blame him for the own goal. You can't blame him for the own goal. More De Gea's fault. But I can't give him more than a 5.
Okay.
Just the average. Yeah, average.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I don't think Everton had that many chances. Yeah. But for me, my only concern is, again, normally he's quick to receive the ball and quickly move, but I thought today he took too many touches, man. He didn't need to have 3 or 4 touches or keep passing to Maguire. Let's get the ball and move into the midfield like he normally does today. I didn't see it. He looked a bit scared today for me, man. He didn't want to go out and push forward. I feel like the crowd got on top of him today, you know what I mean? Like, he got on top of everyone, to be fair, but I don't think he's the main culprit today, you know what I mean?
That's what it is, because it was a bad team performance, and I think, especially as centre-backs, it's not like David De Gea was getting shots rained on him.
No. It wasn't,
as a defence today.
They kind of held it well.
More midfield. We couldn't create and force issues. And Calvert-Lewin, he's gonna bully. He's gonna do what he does.
They tried to get it a few times over the top, but today I thought his decision making today, and he had too many touches today. That wasn't good enough for me. But again, they only could see 1 goal, and it's their own goal. But 5 today for me. Maguire, I think same with Lindelof today. Too many touches on the ball. Too many of them Hollywood balls he tried to give.
Was that because literally he's like, nothing's on, so we've got to try and force the issue? I thought that we was like trying to force it a lot of the time, because we've got to bypass this packed midfield and just get people running the channels.
Man United couldn't get between the lines. You know what I mean? Couldn't get to Fred. Couldn't get to Lingard. They couldn't get to. So the only hope was let's ping it forward. And Maguire did that a lot, and he got fouled out every time. a corner or it was a throw-in. Yeah, today not good enough. But then again, man, it was only one goal. I think today it's not the defence that was the wrong today.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, today wasn't the defence, it was the attack. Yeah. And we just didn't have any for attacks today. Standard 5.
And with that being said, that's why I give Maguire a 6, just because I feel like he does look like the better of the two defenders.
He was trying to pass forward to try and step out of defence. He was trying.
He's not really the guy who should have to do that. He should just be able to give it off to Fred or McTominay and create something. So the fact that he was trying to create stuff from the back, fair enough. He just needs to work on those balls, and he was getting into the box a lot and really trying to get that headed goal that we haven't had yet, kind of thing. So I'll give him a 6.
6, yeah. So 6 and a 5 there. Let us know what you guys think. Luke Shaw in at left back kept his place from Man City. What do you make of him?
Yeah, quite poor. And I know people want to say that a lot of fans are coming with this whole agenda thing, but you can see it in his performances. He's not really living up to what he even used to be like. He kind of drives forward and then kind of doesn't know what pass to make. Doesn't really get into the best of attacking areas like Wan-Bissaka did. And I just thought his all-round game, his passing was poor. Just everything wasn't that good, to be honest. So I give him a 4 for today.
4 there.
You know what, mate? I think it's time to move on with Luke Shaw, mate. I sell him in the summer, mate. He is finished, mate.
You don't think he was that bad today?
You know what it is, yeah? I've just an all-round left back, yeah. He's not good enough for Man United, mate. He did not go past the halfway line at one point in this game. He's again, lackadaisical in the defence. He's the one that cost us the goal. If you really look at it, he's the one that when he had the ball, he could have easily just simply found a man and he lashed it out, and then they got the ball and then they got the resulting corner. So I don't know, but there's a reason why Ashley Young was starting ahead of him last season and Mourinho picked him, and this is why. For me, going forward, is he brilliant? Defensively, you know what I mean, he can be got out. I thought he will be, and Richarlison tried to get him a couple of times. You know what, mate, we need to find a new left back in the summer, or we'll try and bed in Brandon Williams in the end of the season, because right now we've got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? We're not looking like we're going to be top 4. We're very, very inconsistent. So, you know what, mate, I think it's time to just, see you later, mate, and just, find a new club.
Harsh words from the boys today. What are you giving him? Are you giving him a 4 as well?
Man, 4, mate, 4. Yeah? 4 today, mate.
Harsh words, that's the back 4 done. Into midfield, man. Fred.
You know what, man? The better of the two midfielders. I thought he was trying. He was trying, and he tried to make something happen, but just wasn't happening today.
So congested in there, and that's just our biggest problem. We don't know how to break it down.
Yeah, he must be so irritated with Lingard. He must be thinking, Lingard, just stay in one position, yeah, and I'll come try and find you, come try and link with you. Lingard is always on that side. He's always, too far away from him.
Sorry, so angry. He's gone on to Lingard's rating without even realising.
I'm not trying to get with Lingard, but this is how it affected Fred today. Yeah. And Fred tried, but sometimes I feel like it just don't work out when there's no attacking rhythm and there's nothing there. You just can't do anything today. So, do you know what, man? I got to give him a 6 today. He tried today, but again, toothless. Just looked toothless.
I agree that he tried. I thought he was trying to make things happen. It didn't quite always work out, but he tried to pass forward where he could, and just in a midfield that lacked creativity overall. It was probably the best out of that.
Yeah, I disagree slightly with Said in terms of when he kind of then went on to Lingard, and I think you might be making the mistake of looking at Fred's game, and because his passer to Lingard then didn't go on to do something, then you're kind of putting that onto Fred. And I think he made good passes. He was all over the place. He was lively, making blocks, making challenges. So okay, as a whole, the midfield wasn't great, but from a lot of the jobs Fred had to do, I think he did them pretty well. It's just such a shame that other players couldn't really.
I think that's what you were saying, though, isn't it? You're saying Lingard.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. But then I think. With I don't know. I think with Said 6, I feel like Said is saying that because Lingard wasn't then able to do anything with it. That's why Fred's. So for me, I give him a 7. That's all. Yeah.
7. Okay. Yeah, so a 7 and a 6 here. Let us know what you guys think about that. Scott McTominay, Miles.
Yeah, Fred.
Rain is pelting down.
It's mad. It's mad. I don't know if they can hear it on the mic, but yeah. Fred was definitely the better of the two. McTominay again trying. Some passes not making it to their target. But again, he was lively and all over the place, and I think a lot of our issues lie a bit further forward. But I can't give him as good a rating as Fred, so I give him a 6.
Well, I've got to disagree with that. I thought it was poor today. I give him a 4 today, mate. He was poor, man. I normally rate McTominay. McTominay's my guy, but today was poor, man. He gave the ball away too many times, too many touches.
Second half, I thought he did.
Second half, he stepped up a bit, but it just wasn't good.
I thought he gave the ball away.
That's what I'm saying. He gave the ball away a lot.
First half, he fed that ball through to Daniel James, which was a good ball. Couple of decent passes in the first half. The second half, I thought he dipped a bit.
I thought he dipped massively after the second half. I thought sometimes when you're so deep, you become so isolated. You don't have anything in the game because you're almost just receiving the ball and trying to move when you really want the midfielder to be more advanced. And, you know what I mean, that's not his problem. You know what I mean, he's just there to break up play and let maybe like a Pogba when he comes back, or a Lingard or someone to create. That's not his natural ability to create. So you can only assess him on today, and that was for me. Sometimes when he's at his best, he gives the ball quickly. You know what I mean, moves. He's tenacious. Kind of energy. Today I didn't see any of that. I thought it was, one of them games where just too many games, and it's catching up to him now. And I don't know, man. We need some more midfield options. We're relying on McTominay and Fred all the time. We need something else, but it's what we got. But I think today was poor, man. 4 today.
4 and you gave a 6, so a big difference there. Let us know which side of the spectrum you guys are on there. Attacking midfield, Jesse Lingard. Yes, it's been a tough week, but we're talking, you know what I mean? I don't want people to try and put the two together. He's come out, we're supporting him with what he's got going on, but we're talking about obviously the game, which I know you will, but I'm just saying for the people at home.
No, you're right. I think as fans we need to definitely separate, but let's talk about football right now. We've all said what we feel about his family situation, and it's really horrible. But on his game, he wasn't great today. He went missing a lot. His passing was bad. I felt doesn't really link up play. He needs to be. If you're in such a pivotal part of the pitch, you need to really be not only receiving the ball, calling for the ball, and being able to give it off and spread, and all that kind of stuff. And I just don't feel he has the confidence to do that at the moment. Maybe because of his family situation. But if we're talking about the game, he was quite poor. I give him a 4 as well.
Okay. Yeah. A 4. How much of it was to do with the shape of Everton and there wasn't a lot of space to work in there?
Yeah.
Or Lingard just didn't have a good game?
Well, that's Lingard for you. He's one-dimensional, and if it's not counter-attacking football and it's not on the front foot and we're pressing, we're pressing, we're showing that kind of abilities against City. When it's tight spaces and you need that magic, you know what I mean. Maybe tonight was a time for Quan Mata, I don't know, you know what I mean, in tight spaces to make quick decisions, quality on the ball. I thought Lingard was a little lost out there, He's just running around like a school kid, man, you know what I mean? When you play the year 11 for year 7, it's like a year 7 playing in the year 11 game, man. It was just looked lost out there, and that's why he rightly subbed off. I thought, today should have started Mason Greenwood today, maybe, I think maybe Solskjaer got it wrong. He got a bit too gassed on the City game. I don't know, man. I thought it was one of his poorer games today. Just looked lost and didn't give us anything.
I don't know. Before the game, I think a lot of United fans, I certainly did. I was like, he should have started. He deserved to start the game. I just don't want it to look like because he's had a bad game, we're saying he should never have played in the first place. He deserved his place. After City, it was hard to change anything.
Today was a poor game, and I'm solely basing that on today's game. I'm not saying he should not have played today, but I'm just saying maybe when you look at it in hindsight, maybe should Greenwood start starting. That's where the manager has to study Everton and say, you know what? Do I bring Lingard? Is it an energy game? Is it a counter-attacking game? No, it's not. It's going to be low block football. Can we get some quality? And Mason Greenwood came on and scored. So yeah, but I thought today maybe a 4 today, mate. 4, yeah.
Okay. On to the front three. Actually, we'll stay with you, Martial.
Martial, you know what, man? Poor game today, man. I'm a realist, man. I say it how it is, and I love Martial, but today I got to give him no more than a 4 today. I'll be real out here. He was cut, you know what I mean? He was loose strings, passes, you know what I mean? He was trying to find the ball. I get he was trying, but it was almost, it came too deep. It was almost playing like a centre midfielder. Like, you got to stay up front. You're a striker, you got to stay up front. We'll find you the ball. You can't just come calling for it.
Will we find him the ball, though?
Yeah, that's it. That's the question. But I thought today, you know what I mean? He looked frustrated, man. He looked absolutely frustrated, and you can't blame him. But I thought today his positioning and the way he was almost not being mobile in that area. I always say he's always sulking. I didn't say he's sulking today, but I thought he wasn't very mobile, and that, you know what? That's probably a reason why United are going out for Strike or Haaland, which I don't think we should get. I think we need centre attacking midfielders. I think Martial is a perfect striker to get if you've got people around him that are running around, bouncing around. So I got to give him a 4 today. I thought it wasn't his best day today.
I literally echo all of those points, and I think, in fact, I did see a little bit of his game where he was like not sulking, but just not, because things weren't really going his way, just not as on it. You see Daniel James running around, busting the gut when things don't go his way, but Martial kind of tends to be a bit languid when things don't really go his way. And yeah, fair play, he wasn't receiving a lot of the service, but little things like when Wan-Bissaka does manage to put a cross in, he's not really there and he's not really on the front foot to really put himself about. So I completely agree with the 4, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. Over to you, Miles. Rashford, in such good form, expecting big things from him in this type of game. What do you make of him today?
I mean, he was only in such a great form because we're playing counter-attacking football against big teams. So when he's running, with 1 or 2 defenders around him, not a lot, then he's great. But he becomes very frustrating when he's got 2 banks of 4 or just the back line in front of him, and then he's trying to do this knuckleball shot that he doesn't even aim. Like there was one shot where he just hits
second
it.
half, innit?
Yeah, he just hits it, and it's like, look, where the position you're in. If you aimed, Martial might have tried to curl it. Or whatever. If you aim and you get it on target, you might score. All this just hitting it, and then when it goes, top corner, then people are like, oh yeah, it was a great goal, even though the wind is what took it there, kind of thing. I think he just needs to kind of calm down a little bit and just kind of be able to switch up his game a little bit. You can't just be someone who just hits the ball and then it goes in every time. Where's your Martial side, where you're a bit more cautious and creative, and dinking the ball around and curling the ball into the top corner kind of thing. He just needs to switch up his game in these kind of games where we're not playing such a big team. I haven't even given him a number.
Yeah. With that said,
he doesn't get much more than Martial. He gets the 4 for me.
Okay. Yeah, how much of his game was stifled by the opposition, by our approach to that? Yeah. And not being able to find an answer.
Coleman did a job on him today. You know what I mean? I thought Coleman's got the pace. He thought, you know what, let's match me for pace. I thought decision making again today, poor, man. That's what you associate with Rashford. Decision making sometimes I feel like it's very, very inconsistent. And today the highlight was probably the free kick. Let's be honest, man. Highlight was free kick. I thought, he tried to take on at one point, I think he's talking about 4 or 5 guys. I'm thinking, listen, where's the intelligence? Let's cut back, space behind. Let's see if there's space behind. You know what I mean? Common sense, man.
Other side that we see, we talk about Martial, about some of the things we get frustrated with him about. We talk about Pogba with some of the things we get frustrated with him. Lingard. On Rashford, is it because we know he's got ability in there, but sometimes the decision making is not quite there.
It's almost as if he's one of them guys where when you're in a football team and he tries to think he can do it all in by himself. You can't, mate. It's a game of 11. You've got to play with each other. And I feel like sometimes he wants the limelight. It's not about the limelight every time. You've got to play with the team and play how the manager wants you to. I thought, you know what, he doesn't get more than a 4 today. Not good today, mate. Not good.
It was tough for all the attacking players, but in terms of trying to find a way, mixing it up, I don't think we saw too much of that. Right-hand side was Daniel James.
Yeah, mate. Another game of... If he scores that goal, I thought would have been in the ascendancy. I thought we could have got 2 or 3 goals. But yes, maybe if you look at it on a tight angle, could he do better? It remains to be seen. But I thought today, it kind of goes quiet in games. That's what the problem with James is. When he goes quiet in games, it's very, very evident to see. And it's almost a case of he won't do anything. Like, he won't make any runs. He won't do... Like, that one moment when he went... McTominay threw the ball. That was the one moment I thought, after that, I didn't see him, man. I didn't really see him. And yes, he tracks back and he gives the ball away, but I don't want to see that. I want you to find a quality. I want you to find a ball. And maybe he's a squad player. I don't know. He's been playing well for us this season. That just shows how poor they've been. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think no more than a 4 again, man. I thought today was good in certain areas, first 10 minutes apart from that. And he got subbed off, didn't he? So
I'm just putting into context because we're talking about attacking, not being break them down. So McTominay and Fred have got like 6s and 7s.
No.
But
he's only got 6.
Sorry, Fred's got a 6. But he went a 7 and stuff, sort of thing. But then the attackers have been that bad. We're saying 4s and stuff, yeah? Okay.
I'm going to give Fred because of the fact that he was always willing to play the forward pass. Okay, and that's what I like about him.
I'm just going over the context of what we're saying here.
But then I disagree with everything he said about Daniel James because I feel like Daniel James, a lot of things didn't work out for him. Poor shots, crosses weren't that great. But for me, the fact that he's still in and around, really trying to be like busting the gut. And I know, people say effort isn't every, you shouldn't just look at effort, blah blah blah. But I feel like he gave more for me than like Lingard gave, and he just looks like someone who, for me, aside of saying maybe he will end up being a squad player, I actually do think he will be our winger of choice going forward. I feel like he will keep getting better, and he's a handful. Like. Okay, today wasn't his best game, but those 2 runs he made, I think one in the first half, where Scott McTominay played it through, and then one in the second half where McTominay played it through again. I mean, no one else can really, really like do that and make those balls, with the sheer pace he's got. But I think his final ball just wasn't it today. But for me, I've seen enough over the course of the season for me to say, keep playing him, keep sticking him in there, and we'll see something of him.
Against Said?
I'll give him a 5.
Would you rather have Sancho or James? I'd rather have Sancho.
I mean, you're talking about 2 different class of players,
Okay, but you don't see a problem with James in terms of his performance today. He tried, it just didn't work out, is what we're saying, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, on to the substitutes. Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, man, for me, he gets a 6, man. I thought, gets a goal. I thought...
6?
For Mason Greenwood.
6?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Come on, saved us a point.
Bagged our goal.
Yeah, I thought, it's, you know what I mean? I think... But the problem is, that's why I go into it. after the goal happened, though, I thought it was quiet after that. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I thought we didn't actually get the ball to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because it was quite open and Richarlison was running down on us. Like it
How
was.
do you base it on a 7 then?
Because he's come on, he's had one chance to score and he's taken it and got us a point.
I feel like justifiably.
At least a 7.
I don't know.
I don't even like to step in on this. I got a bit, but
I think it's a 6
a
and a 7.
6 is like.
All right, we'll go with a 7. I think.
Don't change it. If you think 6, if you think 6,
we'll go with a 7. No, it's not the fact that pressure. I just feel like, what more has he done? I know he's got the goal, brilliant. I think it's
every time he plays, he scores.
Yeah, he scores, and I feel like. But I'm thinking after that though, was there a kind of low? You know,
I don't think that was his fault.
That's
what I'm saying. I think as a team, after we scored, with 10 minutes left on the board. Yeah,
well,
we should have had an onslaught on their goal, but we didn't.
As well. I think 20 minutes on the pitch. I think 6 or 7 is a fair result.
7, I would say.
We'll give him a 6.5.
Did you give 6s?
Fred. Yeah.
He's come on and changed the game and scored straight away, man. He gets a 7 for me.
You know what? We'll put it to the
yeah. All right. Well, you're saying 6, yeah?
You know what? 6.5, man.
7. Yeah. He comes on, bags the goal when we look creatively just inept. He gets the goal out of nothing, puts it through a couple of the Everton players. Cold again, man.
Same finish as well, like just coming in, bang, bang.
Who else? If it's Marcus Rashford, like he showed us in the first or second half, can't remember which second half, he's just whacking it, and it's just kind of with that knuckleball, and it's just kind of going like that, like, you know, over the bar. Whereas Mason Greenwood knows exactly where the goal is. He doesn't need to look at it, and he puts it in the corners.
Brilliant. Yeah.
He is the best finisher we have at the moment.
Solskjaer said it.
He's the best finisher we have, and we're seeing it. And without his goal, we lose the game. You know, he has to be a 7. Like, minimum.
Especially because of the result. Like, if he doesn't do what he did, we don't get anything out of the game. Who else come off the bench? One matter. 5. Flat 5. Was there even a third sub? Don't think there was.
No.
Don't think there was. And that brings us on to Solskjaer.
I think he gets no more than a 4, mate. I thought it was the right team, wrong tactics, wrong game plan. To nullify Everton, you have to find another way of playing, and that is not counter-attacking football. It's not, playing, with width and kind of, trying to match them for that kind of game plan. I thought today was a game where we have to structure it properly and we have to coach the players into a way of playing where we can get the end result. And today I thought it was just the same old. You can't play City the same way you play City against Everton. You just know it's a different game. It's a different game, and Everton sat back and they almost said, you know what, break us down. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't have an answer for it. He brought on Mata, I think, too late. I thought Mason Greenwood, when he came on, yes, he got the goal, but then on the right-hand side, maybe he could have switched to a 4-4-2, maybe get one midfielder out there, maybe take out McTominay. Sometimes I feel like, why do we always have to keep, Fred and McTominay on the pitch all the time? Why not? You know what? Let's take McTominay out. Let's put about free attack, and let's go for the game. We might as well win. I don't want to draw. Let's go for the win. And I know a point helps us out in the end, but you know what, man? I just feel like sometimes he didn't risk it today. We did not risk it today, and we didn't, and we just sat back and man.
A point does help us in terms of we gained, instead of not gaining anything on Chelsea's loss. I'm not saying we have to be happy with that, but it's better than losing. It's better than losing. We were going to lose the game. No, what I'm saying is in that game we're losing 1-0. So what are we supposed to do? Not be happy we scored an equaliser?
After that, though.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is, where you say it don't help us.
We scored the equaliser, but for me, the coming off with a draw for me is not much. But I just don't care. Like, you're making me not care about whether we get a draw or a defeat, because for me they're both the same. I feel like we should have won that game. I feel like tactically Solskjaer has been quite bad with playing all of these smaller teams. Like, this wasn't City or Tottenham, where they gave us the ball at times and said, what can you do? They went 1-0 up and said, what can you do? Can you break us down? And we've said this week after week against the smaller teams.
Easiest way to play against us, isn't it?
Easiest way. You will get a point at least. Like, if you need to get a point to survive or do whatever, then you want to play us.
This is exactly what Nigel Pearson's going to be thinking next week for Watford. Colchester manager, I know.
Worse than you. I give him a 3. Awful, because this is like the 3rd or 4th consecutive game. We've had Sheffield, we've had Aston Villa. All these games where they've said break us down. Said, we're saying the same things every single time. Yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with anyone's agendas or Oli in, Oli out. Look at the facts. We can't beat small teams, and Everton aren't even that smaller team. But we can't beat anyone outside of the top 6. It's really bad. Like, I'm so annoyed that every game we're coming up to these games and we're just not doing anything different. His in-game management is poor. Like you said, take out one of the central defence midfielders. We've got 2 of them. Lingard isn't doing anything. All right, put in another, like, just attack a bit more. Do you know what I'm saying? Put more balls into the box. Get the ball out wide a bit more. Get your coach your wingers, or like, you know, Wan-Bissaka and them guys to put in decent crosses. And let's flip and go for these games. But every time 1-1s, 0-0s, it's annoying. I've had enough of it.
Okay, so a 4 for Solskjaer and a 3 here. To cap off a disappointing day at the office. You know, 2 points dropped. Probably being a bit optimistic. I'm just trying to find a positive because we didn't lose the game. But in reality, we know we should have won this game today. We needed to win. It would have put us in such a good position. Don't get me wrong. Win against Watford, maybe a draw. Spurs and Chelsea. You never, you know, it's all forgotten about. But
you're clutching at straws, man. You're clutching at straws.
Well, just on a Watford game, what are you expecting?
I think it's going to be difficult because we have to have an onus on to attack.
Yeah.
Maybe the end quality might give off Rashford a moment of brilliance, but I think them kind of results we need to win basically. So 3 points is a must. If we don't get them 3 points, I think serious question needs to be asked about Ole.
Spurs will be able to murder, because I think Spurs will beat Chelsea.
Well, you never know, man. Chelsea might just come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, we're relying on people to do stuff, man. Yeah. We should have done our job here, man. We should have done our job here. It's ridiculous.
Watford, what are you thinking?
Watford, I mean, I've seen them live and they are awful. So even though we play like this, I still think we will slap them. Watford are awful.
Did you see them against Liverpool though? They did well. They've got a new manager now, so it's the Watford that you maybe saw throughout this. And it's their first home game with that manager, Nigel Pearson, and he's a no-nonsense manager.
Yeah, so that is the flip side.
And we're Man United and we're inconsistent.
So that is the flip side of the coin, where we could actually still come out of it with a draw.
Bournemouth didn't win. They didn't score a goal in all of October. Then we went there and they beat us 1-0.
Yep.
So this is where we're at.
Oh, listen, anything other than 3 points is unforgivable. Completely unforgivable. You have to go there and put them to the sword. You have the players to do it. Just go and do it. Just go and do it. I'm tired of talking about us having to break down smaller teams. You should be able to do it. You have the quality. You have the players. Go and do it, please.
Okay, that's the player ratings over. Quite a few difference of opinions there in a bad day at the office. But it is about individuals when we do player ratings. So yes, the team played badly. So let us know what you guys think and give us your predictions for the next Premier League game, which is Watford away next Sunday, which will be a tough game. And also we've got Colchester as well. Could get into the semi-finals, I think it is. Yeah, we could get into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. You know, positive, Saeed. You know, could we have a day out at Wembley? You know,
I couldn't care less about Carabao Cup, mate. I couldn't care less.
I'm joking. Yeah, it's Colchester. But the real money match is Watford, and we need 3 points. Peace. Big thank you to you guys for watching the latest of our videos. And if you want to check out more, make sure you do that just to the right of me. We are the biggest and best Manchester United channel in the world. Make sure you check us out on all of the socials as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. The socials are along the bottom. Peace.